Hi, another Finback beer. It is their Chromoscope. It's a double IPA, but it only says India Pale Ale on there, and it says 7%, but pretty positive it's 8%. That's what they said on Facebook, and it says on everywhere else. And also, the first time I had this was like a week and a half ago. My friends got a keg of it, a quarter barrel keg, and that one said double IPA 8%, so I'm going to go with having this be a double IPA, and I liked it a lot from the keg. It was canned on the 11th, so that's 19 days ago. And it's probably one of my favorite Finback double IPAs. I had the newest Oscillation, which is number 9, their ever-changing double IPA, and I was really disappointed with that one. It didn't have that much aroma or intense hop flavor. It was just kind of like Smarties and bananas, and not really impressive. I loved Oscillation number 8, but this one might be my favorite double IPA I've had from Finback. And in this light, the lines on the label are kind of cool actually. They don't look that interesting to the eye. So this uses, the only thing I really know about it is that it's dry hopped with Simcoe. I bet they use other hops in there in some form, but it's very Simcoe forward. And I found out that Simcoe is kind of like my favorite hop recently, and this one has a huge Simcoe aroma. Yeah, I always get a spicy berry and grapefruit aroma out of Simcoe. Some people think it's especially cat pissy. I don't. Because I have a cat, and I know really well what cat piss smells like. It doesn't even smell that much like a cat pissy marijuana type thing either, which some really dank, intense beers do. I find it to be just extremely fruity and peachy. And yeah, it has the peachy and pineapples and syrup type thing. But it doesn't seem like it's going to be too sweet. Finback is, I've noticed all their IPAs are really fruit forward and rather sweet, especially that last Oscillation that I didn't like. And they have a beautiful head like this. I guess Finback, I'm starting to just do reviews of almost every new beer I can get from them, kind of like I did last year. I was just doing reviews of every single Trillium thing, but Finback's kind of my current favorite brewer of the New England style stuff. I didn't do a review of their dry hop Pilsner because people might find that boring, and it was like a one-off. It's called How Soon Is Meow. But that one was really great, and it was like a hazy, soft, fruity Pilsner that they pulled off. I would call it like a New England style Pilsner or something like that. And this one is still smelling really great. There's just a very light resinous quality in there, but it doesn't morph into any specific kind of funky, skunky onion or anything like that. Yeah, it just smells like sweet nectar of the gods. Yeah, it's got plenty of that Smarties flavor, but mixed in with like fruity pebbles, every berry flavor you can think of, and also peach, like this strawberry banana almost. And now that I think about it, pretty big strawberry banana. It's not banana like, Hefeweizen banana, but just some kind of mixture of tropical fruit salad with berries. It's very nice. And I remember after I had a few glasses from the keg of this, there was a little bit of a burn building up, but it took quite a while. The mouthfeel isn't too full. It's pretty sweet. Just enough bitterness to dry out your tongue after you sip. But just so fruity and nectary. I just bought some guava nectar from the store, so maybe I'll be able to compare that, see how much that's like this, because I've never actually had real guava, I don't think, in my life. I've had passion fruit to kind of figure out what that tastes like. But a lot of these really tropical, fruity, and also like tropical Brett beers that I like, a lot of people describe them as tasting like guava, so I'll figure that out soon. But it's just, a really clean spice, clean, light resinous quality to this that helps deal with all that sweet fruit But this is a really fantastic beer, and so much better than the Oscillation number 9. That was just a really boring. No flavors are popping out at me with that one. Not much aroma. This one is just kind of like one of my current favorite IPAs, and I love that it features Simcoe. I feel like there aren't so many double IPAs out there that they're like, oh, we're just going to use Simcoe. In the past, like 10 years ago, Simcoe had come on the scene, was like super popular for its fruity flavors. But then I think once its daughter, the so-called daughter of Simcoe, Mosaic, came out, and before that Citra, everyone was going crazy for those, and they would often blend those with Simcoe. But I think maybe finally Simcoe's making a comeback, and people are realizing, oh, it has these tropical fruity berry flavors, but it doesn't have any of the onion and garlic that sometimes brewers can get from Mosaic and Citra. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with this beer at all. And yeah, I'm still not feeling that kind of throat burn that you get from some of these New England IPAs, just from the ridiculous amount of hops in there and the very slight tartness. I'm not getting any burn yet. Actually, a lot of the people at this party, when they heard the keg was a double IPA, they were like, oh, because they're like, I don't like IPAs. But then when everyone had a sip of this, they were like, whoa, this is great. It's fruity. It's a little bit sweet. It's not boozy for 8% at all. I think the booze just helps bring out a teeny bit of the spice from the Simcoe. One of my friends who was there was like, explain to me why I like this. Like, he couldn't really understand it, because most people haven't had Other Half before, or not Other Half, excuse me, Finback. Finback is the one that's as good as Other Half, but actually gets shipped up here to Boston, whereas Other Half you have to go to the brewery to get it in New York City. Well, this is, yeah, in the Northeast area, this is one of the best beers that I think gets, shipped around to liquor stores. I don't even know how far south and west they get, but it gets up here to Boston. Super fresh. I mean, this stuff sells out really quickly at most stores. But it's way up there with the stuff you have to go to breweries for, basically. So I would definitely snag it if you see it. Sometimes it's a little expensive, but it's definitely worth it, especially if you just happen to be at a local liquor store and you don't have to drive to a brewery that's far away to get an NE IPA of this quality. Yeah, I'd give this a 90 at least. I like it a lot. And I'm drinking it rather quickly, a little bit. You can see where the condensation line is. That's where it started. But with the Oscillation I had last night, that one I just didn't even want anymore. It just didn't have the bite, it didn't have the fruitiness and intensity of hops. It was like they used a smaller amount of hops, or I guess I don't know what hops they use in that Oscillation. I couldn't find the list anywhere. Maybe they used some new varieties I hadn't before that were not very potent or very good quality or something. But this one is really the beer that I think will get people back into loving Simcoe. And yeah, I want to see more Simcoe, please, and not Simcoe blended with Centennial or some other newer hops. Just enjoy Simcoe for now. So that's it. Goodbye.